The global supply chain is currently teetering. A new phase of warfare in the Middle East has turned maritime trade into a volatile gamble. Publicly, Donald Trump maintains a posture of total triumph. He repeatedly claims that Iran has been decimated and that the United States has already secured a final victory. But his actions suggest a different reality. Just days after telling the UK Prime Minister that American power didn't need assistance, Trump is now publicly tweeting for the UK, France, and even China to send warships to the region to help escort commercial vessels. Iran has weaponized the Strait of Hormuz by turning it into a geopolitical filter. They have declared the waters open for business, but any vessel tied to the US or Israel is being systematically identified and blocked from passage. Behind the scenes, US officials have privately admitted they have no strategic plan to break this specific type of selective blockade. The world's primary superpower is effectively paralyzed. A massive strategic miscalculation regarding maritime logistics has left their military unable to guarantee the flow of global trade. This crisis was triggered by a specific tactical choice: the US's decision to bomb Kharg Island. Iran's natural coastline is too shallow to accommodate massive tankers driving the global oil trade. Kharg Island was the solution. Positioned in deeper waters, it served as the essential deep-water harbor and central hub for Iran's oil export infrastructure. The U.S. military logic was to destroy these specific piers and pipelines. They believed that by crippling Iran's ability to export oil, they could force a surrender through sudden economic starvation. Instead of surrendering, Iran used the destruction of their primary harbor as the justification to abandon conventional limits and attack the economic interests of every U.S. ally in the region. Brute force failed to end the conflict. Instead, it triggered a lethal chain reaction that has expanded the war far beyond the original battlefield. Iran's response began with precision. They traced the origins of U.S. missile strikes, specifically those from HIMARS, a mobile, high-tech rocket system, back to American bases located within the United Arab Emirates. By identifying these launch sites, Iran turned the wealthy Gulf states hosting American troops into direct targets. The regional danger has now spread to global financial and tourism hubs like Dubai. Iran also began targeting U.S. air superiority at its weakest point, the KC-135 Stratotanker. These are the massive aircraft that refuel fighter jets mid-air. Without them, the U.S. cannot maintain its dominant presence in the sky. This regional instability has caused traditional allies to retreat. France and the UK now refuse to involve their militaries to clean up a strategic disaster created by Washington. While the U.S. is isolated, its rivals are maneuvering. China is bypassing the blockade by purchasing Iranian oil in yuan, and India is leveraging its historical ties to negotiate direct energy deals. The attempt to isolate Iran has backfired. The United States is the one currently isolated from its allies, while economic leverage in the region is shifting toward Beijing. On the second front, Israel's defensive posture is failing. The constant volume of incoming fire has pushed their missile defense networks to a breaking point. With a severe shortage of interceptors for systems like the Iron Dome, which shoots down incoming rockets, Israel has resorted to using cluster munitions. These weapons release hundreds of small explosives over a wide area, causing widespread destruction and heavy civilian casualties. This military desperation is mirrored by political instability. Benjamin Netanyahu has been conspicuously absent from the public eye for an unusually long period, leading to intense speculation about the state of his leadership. Diplomacy has reached a total stalemate. Iran has set impossible ceasefire conditions, demanding full reparations for the war and the complete removal of all U.S. military bases from the Middle East. When nuclear-armed powers face conventional and economic defeat, they reach the final tier of the escalation ladder. There are now growing fears among intelligence analysts that this desperation could lead to a false flag operation on U.S. soil, or prompt Israel to use a tactical nuclear weapon to forcibly reset the conflict. The era of a single superpower dictating terms through force is over. Relying on military dominance in a hyper-connected world has not secured a victory. It has pushed the globe to the brink of unconventional war.